30 ideas for Dublin City Council. Idea number: speed limits. I think they should be lower. I represent a very, very urban area that takes in a lot of the city centre. And while most residential streets, like housing estates, have speed limits that are set at 30k, I think that should be kind of the default around most of the city. This wouldn't mean that absolutely every street in Dublin City would be 30k. There'd still be bigger ones that are probably currently set at 50, but might go down to 40. But I think for a lot of the city centre in particular, it would make sense that rather than having different street speed limits for every single different street, it would make sense to just treat the whole thing, say within the canals, for example, as a 30k zone. It would be a lot simpler for drivers to follow, and it would reduce a lot of the signage we have to put all over the streets. The obvious point is, of course, that a lot of drivers won't follow those speed limits and that they'll simply be ignored. And that's certainly a fair point. In my experience, a lot of the time they are. There's two things though. One is that a lower speed limit can drag down the overall speed. Even if people are breaking the speed limit, they still might be going a bit slower than they would be if in a 30 zone, if the zone had been 50, for example. The second and most important thing is that we're now starting to roll out fixed speed cameras and average speed cameras, and of course we already have speed cameras in vans at the moment. And I'd like to see more and more of those rolled out across the city. We should be getting some in Dolphin's Barn at a junction there by the end of the year, but I think it should just be the norm really that if you're speeding, there's a good chance you'll be caught. And as a result, I think far few cars and far fewer drivers will speed. From what I've seen, local government requires ideas and clear principles about what you want to do. That's why I'm doing this series, and you can also go to pigeon.ie/manifesto and see some more of the ideas I have.